Hello there. Do you know that just looking at your relationship, if I sit down with you for a few minutes, I can tell if that relationship is going to succeed or fail? Yes, from my experience of pastoring and counseling people within our church and even from other denominations around the country, I can tell you that just talking with people before they get married, you can predict that there are challenges that will come up in that relationship. And one of the major problems that people face in marital relationship is money matters, financial issues, the money issues. And many times this is the aspect that people ignore. You know, the only time people ask questions about money is where especially the brother, especially the man, doesn't look like he's earning so much. So people begin to ask questions regarding money. If he seems to have some things, nobody will ask questions, and that's where the danger is. And here are a few questions that you ask. Number one, how many streams of income do you have? It's possible that you're a medical doctor or you're a lawyer. Are you also a business person? Do you have trust fund? Are you a trust fund kid? Like, are there monies that your parents have piled up for you that we can enjoy as a family? Do you have relatives who give you money, and as a result of that, even though your salary may not be so much, you have other streams of income? Because gifts and favor is also part of the streams of income. Try to know what are the sources of the person's income. Number two, confirm to know the range of the fixed income. When I mean fixed income now, in economics there's something we call windfalls. There are windfall gains and windfall losses. What you don't prepare for, you didn't really do anything, you didn't plan for it, but a major breakthrough can happen. Maybe an uncle just calls you and says, oh, I like what you are doing, and sends 20 million naira, sends 50 million naira. Or you are a real estate person and God just gives you a breakthrough and you're able to sell a property of about 10 billion naira. Even if it's 1%, that's 100 million naira. That's a windfall gain. You can't plan with that. You can have real conversation. How much do you earn on a monthly basis? What are the fixed amount of monies that come in? The next question to ask is, what do we do if any of us loses our job? If the brother or the sister lost their job, what is there to be done? How can we survive? How are we going to take care of ourselves? How are we going to take care of our family members? How are we going to survive as couples? These are real questions to ask. I remember a story of a particular young lady who got involved with a guy, and then usually they'll go to the guy's mansion. The guy had a very beautiful mansion, a duplex. They'll go in there and then stay there. His pictures and frames were everywhere in the apartment, and then the security usually open the door and tell this guy, you're welcome, boss, boss, boss. And then they proceeded to get married, and only for the lady to discover that the building doesn't belong to the guy. It belongs to an uncle who has been living abroad for a while, and asked that this young man should just help him be in charge of the building so that it doesn't decay and things don't go bad. And they never talked about it. And that was one of the major reasons this young lady got married to this guy. So they had to move out of that place to a smaller apartment, maybe a one-bedroom apartment within that city in a distant area. And then that now became a problem. That now became a challenge for their marriage. She said, he lied to me, he didn't tell me the truth, you deceived me and all that. No, you did not ask the right questions. And many times when we say this, we usually think of the sisters asking the brothers. No, brothers also try to know, oh, you're a business person, you work, how much do you earn, how do you earn, what's the trajectory, what's your plan for the future? This is very important. Now let me read a passage of the Bible, especially for the guys listening to me. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8 says, I'll read the Amplified version because I like the way it puts it. It says, if anyone fails to provide for his own, and especially for those of his own family, he has denied the faith by disregarding its precepts. And he is worse than an unbeliever who fulfills his obligation in these matters. That means that the Christian who fails to be responsible for the needs of his family members is worse than an unbeliever who is meeting the needs of his family. That's how it works. That's how God sees that person. God sees that person as an irresponsible fellow. Who is an irresponsible person? An irresponsible person is not the man who has money or the man that doesn't have money. No. You can have money and be irresponsible. You can have money and be responsible. You may not have so much and yet be responsible. Many times, a lot of young people, a lot of men around the world use the excuse of lean income to be irresponsible. If you're a responsible person, the Bible says, he that is faithful in little is faithful in much. So I have a principle. I don't believe in people who tell me, I'm going to take care of you one day. I don't believe you. If you really want to give me anything, you can do it today. You want to show appreciation, you want to gift me anything, you want to show value, you want to give honorarium, you can do that at your level. The person who is faithful in giving 20,000 naira today or 5,000 naira today or 10,000 is the same person who will give lavishly 10 million naira tomorrow when his level changes. So how do you tell if an individual is responsible? Is that at their level, they make the right financial decision with the amount of money available to them now. So with that, you can pray. With that, you can plan. With that, you can trust God for direction and say, okay, I can plan with this person. We can build this also amount of money. Oh, you earn 300,000, I earn 150,000. When we put that together, that's 450k in a month. Okay, what kind of apartment can we rent within the city? Which area of the city can we live? Considering transportation and our both offices, that is how to plan. If you sit down and have this conversation before marriage, when you get into the marriage, if there are adverse situations or unpleasant situations or challenges that you didn't plan for, sudden increase in fuel price or gas or anything, you already have prepared for it. You talked about it. So it will not be a situation where you had a different kind of expectation and then what you met is later. While I close, let me tell you a very funny story. I think it's a comedy. I don't know if it's real. So this white lady was looking for an African prince to marry, a very rich African prince. And then the black guy was looking for a rich European kid with trust fund to marry. And then they both disguised as though they had money and they got married to each other and discovered that the European lady was very broke. The African guy was just trying to relocate out of Africa to Europe. Don't be that person. Sit down and talk about finances. Oh, this is what I have. This is what we can do. These are the things I can afford. As a pastor, I did that when I was talking with my wife. Real clear conversation. I told her I'm a full-time pastor. I don't work. I don't do other things. God provides my need. I'm grateful for that. But I cannot promise you Bugatti right now, except in due time. When God blesses us and increases us, then we can do all of that. Have such clear conversation. That way, it's like you are creating an insurance system to secure your marital relationship, and then you earn the trust of the person. The person counts the cost, and then they go into that kind of marital relationship knowing that they are open and ready to take the bull by the horn. God bless you. Tomorrow is going to be an amazing time. I hope to see you. Feel free to send it to somebody who is about to get married, somebody who is in a relationship, somebody who is in a talking stage. They need to see this.